chasing the stars, we'll stride into the dawn. Never back down till the battle is won. Face each foe with hearts brave and true, unafraid of the unknown, because I'll face it all with you.
Hello, I'm the reviewer. I review you. This is my partner, Mr. It. Question. What do John Oliver and Tom from Toonami have in common? Well, they're both hosts of relatively popular late-night programming, and they both also have done something that technically makes them weirdly perfect for this show.
Think of them as the bones of a well-functioning society, which I guess makes common sense and good judgment the blood, manners the skin, fortitude the heart, and this show, these nuts.
I officially regret every choice that has led to this moment.
Specifically, though, I want to talk about rules as they apply to 1997's Air Bud.
I just love how instead of taking the week off, he decided to do this YouTube-exclusive segment about the logistics of a 90s family film. And his audience is here for it!
Yeah.
Speaking of that audience, really? That got a decent laugh out of him?
So, the dog scores a basket, grins stupidly, and in that moment, Josh's world changes and we as an audience are set for a wild ride.
Of the Mr. Toad variety?
And don't worry, I'm not going to ruin 1997's Air Bud for you.
John, Mr. Oliver, this is the internet. Ruining things is the name of the game.
Point A is a movie where a dog is kind of okay at basketball. Point Z is a movie where that same dog's children are the Avengers, but dogs.
Well, if you don't see how those things correlate, then obviously you missed the point of the original movie.
Ain't no rule said the dog can't play basketball.
Yes, ain't no rule says a dog can't play basketball. It is both stupid and weirdly true. There is still literally no rule on the books preventing a dog from playing basketball.
You'd think they would have if for no other reason than just for shits and giggles.
I know there's no rule that says a dog can't play basketball. I know that. I went to Oxford, probably.
Probably? How the hell do you get probably?
Sorry, but when Kevin Durant goes down with an injury in a crucial game, the Nets don't get to just bring in a random, unsigned, untested additional player.
Hey, if the Toon Squad can bring in Bill Murray, I don't see why not.
There are no surprise guests in basketball. Isn't that right, Mr. Kevin Durant?
How amazing would it be if just no one showed up?
Now,
God damn it! I was joking!
obviously, we didn't get Kevin Durant for this bit. It's the playoffs right now, plus this is a web exclusive about Air Bud. It would have been insulting of us to even ask.
Okay, I don't follow basketball or really sports in general, but does anybody know if Durant has enough of a sense of humor to at least say, I would if I could?
But look, that crucial point, there isn't a rule preventing the dog from playing basketball, is the central conceit of the film, but it doesn't really address the key question, which is, should the dog play basketball?
Your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could that they didn't stop to think if they should.
Based on the game tape that is available to us. 2 steals, 5 assists, 2 free throws, and 4 field goals. That is it. That is his entire box score. Now, I'm not saying that that's bad. No one's saying that's bad. But is that dog an asset to the Fernfield Timberwolves?
Yes. That's what makes their team so depressing.
But there's an even bigger question when it comes to should Air Bud be playing basketball, and that is that Air Bud, crucially, is not Josh's dog.
Okay, Mr. Oliver. You had my curiosity, now you have my attention.
Before Buddy discovered basketball, Snively included him as part of his act as a birthday party clown. We see this at the start of the film, with Snively arriving at a birthday party around the same time it's revealed that the film was produced by Harvey Weinstein. Yeah.
Hindsight. Not only is it 2020, it's a bitch.
And a not terrible argument could be made that Snively was the one who gave Buddy the fundamental training that resulted in him being able to play basketball in the first place.
Argument? I thought that was the whole intention.
Snively gets a lot of shit in this film because he's an abusive alcoholic party clown who explicitly hates children and birthdays, but you cannot ignore that he is also the kind of person who can diligently and patiently train a dog to perform party tricks. That's not nothing.
Diligently, sure. Patiently, I doubt it.
Knowing everything we know about movies, that it would end with Air Bud and the Timberwolves winning state and then cutting to credits. But you'd be wrong. Dead wrong. I'm talking Josh's dad dead wrong.
Jesus.
Snively attempts to regain ownership of Buddy, even contacting a judge. The judge, in his wisdom, decides two things. One, he will ultimately only make a ruling on this case outside on the lawn, which, sure, I'm not getting into that.
Oh, please do!
Buddy chooses the boy who has given him nothing but affection and freedom. Snively, much less predictably, is physically carried off by several cops to jail.
I mean, you can get jail time for animal abuse.
Which is ridiculous. The legal system does not normally work that fast.
God, now I want Legal Eagle to cover this movie.
Here is a thought exercise for you. Let's tweak some variables, shall we? Let's say the disease Snively suffers from isn't alcoholism, it's diabetes. Let's say Snively has diabetes. Now, should that count against him as a dog owner?
No, because the problem wasn't the disease, it was his treatment of Buddy. If you can make a realistic case that he was only abusive towards him because of the booze, then maybe, but otherwise it has nothing to do with it.
Here's another variable. Let's say instead of being good at basketball, he absolutely sucks at it. Now, do we now care where Buddy ends up if he's a dog who's bad at basketball? Where's the line here?
Okay, you got me on that one. Ideally, no, it shouldn't matter. But the fact is, Josh really only started caring about Buddy once he started exhibiting talent. Maybe neither of them deserve the dog.
He's reacting from an emotional place. Does he want Buddy? Or is he, like I said 45 minutes ago...
The fact that I had to actually check to make sure the video wasn't running that long is impressive.
Now, is this the worst thing to happen to movies? No. No, it isn't. The worst thing to happen to movies is kissing. There's too much kissing in movies.
You know, the more I think about it, he might be right about that.
And yet, you're probably thinking right now, wait, really? That is all? There is no twist here? Oh, why would you waste so much of your time and ours on a web exclusive that's quietly about Air Bud but loudly about nothing? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you specifically why. Because there ain't no rule against it.
Whether there's a rule about it or not, I'm glad he did it.
There are a lot of things to pick apart about the logistics of the Air Bud franchise, but I must admit, the idea that the film doesn't give a fuck about rules in general when taking advantage of loopholes as a main plot point, that's an interesting one. There was really no reason to do this, but he did, and I love the hell out of it.
I'm the Review Reviewer. You review it, I review you.